Hello everyone. Welcome to the 8th reading session organized by Kharagpur Data Analytics Group KEDA. Today we have a paper titled Does It Make Sense and Why? A pilot study for sense making and explanation. This paper was accepted in ACL 2019. Today we have two presenters. Myself, Sibas Marak Panigrahi. I am a third year undergraduate student from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering and I am an advisor at KEDA. Along with me will be Sohan Patnaik. He is a sophomore from the Department of Mechanical Engineering and he is a head at KEDA. Before starting, we have some important notes. First of all, we expect you all to have certain queries regarding the presentation and certain intricate doubts, maybe. Please put them in the chat of this meeting if you feel shy, otherwise you can always unmute and speak. Now finally, we will release a Google form in the meeting, so which is basically for feedback, but you can also put any AI related paper which you want us to present in the upcoming session. Some important links have been given here. This slide deck will be available in the GitHub repository. Please join the Slack workspace and also subscribe to the KEDA YouTube channel. Now, for today's paper, we'll first see what the paper is about. Then we will see the test set for the tasks are, how the annotation were done, some corpus analysis. Then we will go to experiments with simple baseline models. Then we'll see the results and analysis. We will end with a simple case study and conclusion. So Sohan will be starting now.
Okay, so let me first brief you about what this paper proposes. Nowadays, the models that have been trained on corpus, natural language corpus, do not capture common sense that well. So this paper proposes a benchmark dataset to test whether a system can differentiate natural language statements that make sense from those that do not make sense. And it also asks the model to identify what might be the reason a statement does not make sense. So the limitations that are available for the benchmark datasets are, that is, no direct metric was available to quantitatively measure the common sense making capability of a model, and they do not also explicitly identify what are the key factors required in the sense making process. Okay, so let us move on.
Okay, so continuing the introduction, so there are two tasks basically. The first is to choose from two natural language statements with similar wordings, which one makes sense and which one doesn't. So if you see the first example, he put a turkey into the freeze, he put an elephant into the freeze. Clearly, he put a turkey makes more sense than he put an elephant, which is against common sense. Now the second task is to find the key reason why a given statement does not make sense. So here the second statement is not making sense or is against common sense, then why it is. Out of the option ABC, we have to select the one which is the correct reason. So A and B are the confusing reason, whereas the C is the correct reason. So the model has to identify that he put an elephant is against common sense and this is because of option C. Okay. Now, a statement pair classification is done here rather than labeling each statement true or false in the absolute sense. What does this mean? So the authors, they might have done something like he put a turkey into the freeze as true and he put an elephant into the freeze as false. So this is like assigning a universal true false label that it is never possible. But just imagine we can tweak the universal fact, like if someone says he put an elephant into the freeze as false, and I will say that no, that person can put a toy elephant into the freeze. So yes, that is true also. But when we take a pair, like he put a turkey into the freeze versus he put an elephant into the freeze, the turkey one makes more sense, whereas the elephant one makes less sense.
Okay, so now let us look at the test set that they proposed. So formally, each instant in the dataset was composed of 5 sentences, that is S1, S2, R1, R2 and R3. S1 and S2 are the two similar sentences that we saw earlier, the examples about the turkey and the elephant, which are similar in syntactic structure but only differ by a few words, or we can say a simple phrase. And the other three, R1, R2, R3, are the explanations. So basically the task is divided into two parts. One is the sense making task and the other one is explanation. Sense making task requires the model to identify which one of the two sentences S1 and S2 is valid. Now for the invalid sentence, there are three optional reasons, that is R1, R2 and R3, to explain why the particular sentence is invalid. Now in the explanation task, the model is required that only one correct reason is to be identified from the two confusing ones. Like there are three reasons R1, R2 and R3. the model has to identify which of the three is the correct explanation to the incorrect or the sentence which does not make sense. Lastly, they use accuracy score to evaluate both the subtasks.
Okay, now let us see what are the annotation guidelines that are followed when making the test set. The first is the annotators were asked to avoid use of complex knowledge, to focus on daily common sense, and to prepare questions which are easily understandable. The second is a set of guidelines regarding the confusing reason. So in the example, we saw A and B are the confusing reason and C is the correct reason. So let us see. The first is the confusing reason should contain more important words like entities and activities in against common sense statement. So in the against common sense statement, which is he put an elephant into the phrase, the important entities are elephant and phrase. And you also observe that A and B both contain elephant and phrase. Okay. The next is the confusing reason to be related to the statement and correct reason and aligned with problem context, else can easily be captured by BERT models that do sentence context explicitly, that models the sentence context explicitly. So this simply means that both A and B, they should be aligned and in the same context as of the incorrect option and also the correct option. So we cannot just say that an elephant, he put an elephant into the phrase is against common sense because an elephant flies in the air. So, or an elephant can stand on the phrase. So these are somehow not related exactly to the context and also not to the correct option. And the model, like bot models, which can say that okay, he put an elephant in the phrase because the elephant can stand on the phrase. So the bot model will straight say that this is not a particular good sentence. Like sentence A and sentence B, they cannot be correlated in a good manner. The next is that confusing sentence should be correct themselves. So if we put an option that the elephant can fly in the air, then the large language models, which have been trained on huge billions of words and billions of sentences and documents, they can easily say that okay, this sentence is itself not working. So how can it be a correct reason to something else? There are some small annotation guidelines. One is like the three option reasons that have been provided. This should be related to the incorrect sentence. And next one is they try to make the incorrect statement nearly as long as the correct statement and the right reasons neither too long nor too short among the three reasons. Okay, so they also perform a corpus analysis to verify this. The first is the average length of the two statements in the cell making task are both exactly 8.26, so they are similar in length. The next is average length of true reasons is 7.63 and 7.77 for confusing reason, so they are nearly same, that it is not too large nor it is too less. The next is the different word. Okay, let us see what exactly is different word. Now in the example we saw earlier, the turkey and elephant, that is the only differing thing between the two sentences S1 and S2. So we will say that S1 is a different word for the correct statement S1 and elephant is a different word for the incorrect statement S2. So what they have done is they have plotted how many such numbers are available for correct and incorrect statement. So let us see the words which are negative like can't, not, don't and no. So you can see that can't and not, they have been used frequently in the correct statement, whereas don't and no, they have been used frequently in the incorrect statement. So if you take a complete sum over can't, don't, not and no, you will see that the number of times they occur in correct is equal to the number of times they occur in the incorrect. The number is maybe 53, but you can check in the paper, you can just go through it. So the basic idea is that explicitly we are not providing a negative word to the model to say that okay, this is containing negative word, hence this is going to be incorrect. So that hint is not being given to the model. This is being ensured by this particular point. Now if you see the experiments, so we will go through them very quickly. These are very simple experiments. The first is they're simply calculating the perplexity score. Lower the perplexity, more correct that sentence is going to be. So for the sentence making task, they basically find the scores for each of the sentences S1 and S2. Whichever has lower score, that is the correct one. Cool. Now let's say S2 is the incorrect one. For explanation, what they do is they append with S2 each of the optional reason and find the score. Whichever has the lower score, that is going to be the correct reason. So for instance, if the incorrect statement is he put an elephant into the freeze and one of its optional reason is an elephant cannot eat a freeze, then they are concatenated as he put an elephant into the freeze, then a template is against common sense because then the reason an elephant cannot eat a freeze. Now for the human evaluation, they obtain the human answers and they see if half the testes do one sample wrong. A sample is made wrong when either the cell making or the explanation is being wrong. So either of them, if a particular testee is making wrong, then we will just say that that particular instance is being done wrong by that testee. Then what they will do, if it is wrong, they will either rewrite or abolish that sample and keep, or otherwise, if it is fine, if more than half of testies have not done it wrong, then they will keep it and record it in the results.
Okay, now let us look at the results and analysis part. For sen making task, fine-tuned Elmo does better than BERT. However, BERT beats Elmo in explanation. This statement can be attributed to the fact that BERT has been trained on next sentence prediction, which assists the model to handle logic relationship between two sentences, whereas Elmo cannot handle the causal relationship between the incorrect statements and the reasons. To explain, BERT has been trained in such a way that suppose there are two sentences, BERT has been trained in such a way that it realizes some kind of relationship between the two sentences, whereas Elmo does not. Okay, so they carried a case study to prove this fact. The case study showed that fine-tuning can help model identify common sense, but it does not help much in inference. Let us take an example. Suppose there are two sentences. New York is located in the northeastern part of USA versus the USA is located in the northeastern part of New York. Elmo is incorrect for both sense-making and explanation tasks for this pair of sentences. But after fine-tuning and training Elmo on a corpora that has sentences New York is a city and the USA is a country, the Elmo could figure out the incorrect sentence, but it still cannot pick out the reason. The reason that Elmo could figure out the incorrect sentence is that when we introduced the two sentences, New York is a city and the USA is a country, it classified basically the entities into two classes, that is, one is the city and one is the country. So basically we provided some more information so that Elmo could capture some kind of common sense, but it could not specify the correct reason. So we can conclude that it is quite difficult for the language models to capture common sense, as LSTM language models are not suited to make multi-step inference. Coming to the conclusion part, we saw that the authors provided a benchmark for directly evaluating whether a system has the capability of sense making and explanation. They also provided certain metrics to evaluate the models that are trained over large raw text, and they also provided a benchmark for a common sense database. The results show that sense making remains a technical challenge for such models, but inference is a key factor that is missing. Let us look at the tables. Here you can see that the human performance for sense making task is 99.1% and for explanation is 97.8%. It is quite high, as expected that humans have good common sense. But you can see Elmo and BERT, for example, you can see the fine-tuned Elmo, it has sense making, the performance of fine-tuned Elmo on sense making is 74.1%, whereas for explanation it is quite low. The best performance we see for explanation is from BERT, that is 45.6%. That is very low as compared to sense making. So from this we can conclude that the models can somehow capture common sense, but they are not able to capture why a particular sentence makes sense or does not make sense.
So that was all for today's session. Thank you and have a nice evening.